Hey, people, welcome back. This is your boy, the Real Charlemagne. Welcome back to Brick City, where we're building a strong, rich, intelligent culture, keeping it simple. Hey, don't forget to follow me on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. What is that? iTunes podcast, all that good stuff. I'm not an Apple fan, but don't hate me for that. But today, we got a special guest, young lady from my area in North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina. She's out here to try to protect these ladies and give them a little knowledge of self-defense on a different level. Um, Today, Miss LaToya from Sassi Shooters is going to be on Brick City. She's going to be sharing her knowledge. And just so happened, it's Women's History Month. So she's making history, and doing some big things with what she has going on. All right, LaToya, how you doing over there?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, born and raised Eastern North Carolina. All my life been in Eastern North Carolina. Now I'm actually in Raleigh, North Carolina, Roseville. So I moved out, went to college in Durham at North Carolina Central University, graduated with a degree in criminal justice, and decided I was not returning back to Greenville. But it kind of led into where I am now. But I love my hometown, don't get me wrong. But I had to make some big girl moves and just kind of move away just for a little while. But it's still home.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, I tell my kids that I said, it's a large world out there. Go experience it. Even if you come back to where you started, at least you experience something.
You did. I went
So
back.
yeah,
I came
look,
home
you're not too far from home, so look, you're not too far. But that's cool. So what do you do up there in the Raleigh Roseville area?
Yeah, so currently now I'm an academic advisor at Wake Technical Community College, but I'm also an adjunct professor at Shaw University in Vance Granville. So I'm still in higher education, working with students on a community college and a university level for academic advising. But I'm also the founder of the great Sassi Shooters right here in Raleigh, North Carolina too.
Boom, Sassi Shooters.
Yes.
So it's an acronym. I just learned that actually today. So tell us a little about your acronym and how you came up with the acronym.
Sure. So SASSI is Sisters Aiming for Safety and Security Initiatives. And that's literally what we do. Like we're trying to learn, to teach and protect. Our mission stands and our goals are the same. And we just really want to show women how to protect themselves. Sassi Shooters was so far from my mind, not just too long ago, but with certain circumstances that occurred, COVID for one, was not 100% sure like what work would be like, on a university level, especially at a private college where I was a full-time professor. You didn't know what was going to happen because the students stopped coming. So the checks.
Right.
So I had to come up with the plan B. And my plan B was let's do something that I like, something that I love, and turn it into a career. And that's what I did with Sassi Shooters. So I got all the trainings, and now I'm out teaching other ladies everything that I learned while we were down for COVID, if that makes sense. So.
Cool. Yeah, so I know people seeing you on YouTube, they'd be like, this young lady, she's carrying a gun,
I get that
and then
a
they
lot.
hear your voice, you're a mild-mannered individual. And like I was telling you, I met your father some years ago, and he's a cool guy. And you was telling me a backstory about how you got into weapons. So how did you get into weapons?
So my dad is as military as they come. And I think because I am the baby, I just have two older siblings who are boys. My dad just kind of made me to be the boy too, I guess.
Right.
But he started early. He started training me really, really early on just the basic stuff about handguns, pistols, and shotguns. I mean, literally, we live in the country, so we can go out in the backyard and shoot cans and bottles and all that kind of stuff. And that was my dad's goal, to make sure that I could take care of myself and that no one else would be responsible for taking care of my safety.
Gotcha.
So he started very early. I remember being in middle school, going out in the backyard and learning with a BB gun first.
Right.
And then going from a BB gun to a shotgun and learning how to shoot my dad's shotgun and shooting at random stuff in the backyard. now I don't think the way my dad was teaching me may have been all correct, but he definitely gave me what I needed to
Right.
just start the idea. So handguns have been in my hands for a while, rifles and things like that. They've been in my presence for a while. It was nothing new. But my dad was definitely the motivation and the push when it came to me thinking about what was I going to do with my love for firearms. And I get it all the time.
Right.
And
Right.
people are like, "You're such a girly girl. Why do you have
Right. Right.
are you a girly girl shooting guns?" But that's kind of where my dad kind of brought me up, and it was one of those things that he thought was really important. So that's kind of our little tradition. Me and my dad and my brothers are range people. So when I come home, instead of sitting around the house and hanging out, we go to the gun range.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So pushing forward, I know you said, you mentioned, you wanted to do something that you enjoy plus help other individuals. So when did
Yeah.
you actually say, I'm going to start this and develop the platform and develop the everything to get this going in the right direction? When did you do
Yeah.
that?
So 2019 was kind of the push.
Okay.
I've been going to the range for a while anyway, and kind of developed a relationship with the people at the range. My fascination with different firearms, I started to study them more often. So right at the end of 2019, I was like, I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And literally, I held a Zoom call and I invited all of these ladies out to hear me talk about what I was trying to do and what my goal was going to be. And I ended up with probably 75 ladies on a phone call, and we were all
Wow.
talking about, yes, and we were talking about firearms and safety. And I got some people on my team from Eastern North Carolina who were female. One is a sheriff in Pitt County,
Mhm.
and the other one was a Winterville police officer at the time. I got them on my team and I said, give me the statistics for your area and tell me what women are struggling with, and tell me about all of the domestic violence calls against women, and tell me all of the dangers and the robberies that are associated with women. And they gave me all of that information. And I shared it with those ladies on that platform. And when it was over, I anticipated that I would get, maybe 5, 10 ladies to
Mhm.
join my initiative. And I did. I ended up with flat 10 ladies that bought into the initiative. And then it started to kind of roll out.
Right.
And I went from 10 ladies to now currently almost 65 ladies participating in our minority female gun club.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
big.
awesome. That's
It feels
awesome.
big. You know how you kind of tell
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
it's small, but it's a big deal. And I started out very, very scared. And my dad will tell you I was horrified of the idea of even picking up a pistol because
Right.
I knew the dangers that were associated with it. But
Exactly.
I teach ladies now who are terrified. And by the end of it, they're asking me, you mind if I shoot your AR-15? And I'm like, no. Like, they're buying big stuff now. And I was
Yeah.
picking one of the members the other day because she went out and bought a Draco. And I was like, what is going on? Somebody who had never, ever shot before.
Right.
I have kind of willed them into this thing. And it's not only about firearms and pistols. We do a
Right.
lot of other stuff too. We do community service initiatives. Our
Okay.
last community service event, we fed the homeless with Oak City Cares in Raleigh. So the ladies are adamant about giving back and learning how to protect themselves. So we do a little bit of both.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, because like you said, it's like, you don't want them to go out there and go Rambo on people, but at the same time,
Right.
you want them to be comfortable
Right.
with themselves if they have to engage,
That's right. If they have to use that firearm,
with
I
their
just want them to know
firearms.
what they're doing.
So
Yeah,
that's a double plus. And
it is.
hats
It
off to
is.
you, for creating that space for them to be
Yeah.
comfortable
Thank
and
you.
typically a male dominated area. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because typically,
Definitely.
males are usually the ones that's shooting firearms. So
Absolutely.
sometimes I know women get intimidated going into spaces where males are. So I'm
They
glad you
do.
created a space for
They do.
individuals like,
Not
because
only women, but
she will.
myself.
So
Yeah, I was very
I'm
intimidated.
definitely, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
I definitely want them to be well aware of their surroundings. Plus,
Yeah.
if something happens,
Know what you're
hey, know
doing.
how to handle themselves.
That's right. Know how and handle it accordingly.
Exactly.
I tell the ladies
So
all the time, it's between you and them. you
Yeah.
know, and if something is going to happen, I want it to be you. I don't want it to be them taking you out. I want it to be you. And sometimes people are underestimating the value of training. You know, they
Right.
think just because they know what a firearm is and they shot one before, that they don't have to keep training. But I train, and then I come back and I teach the ladies everything that I train with. So they're
Right.
constantly getting training from me as long as I keep, you know, getting training myself.
You
So it's
train
nothing
yourself.
that the ladies are missing out on that I may know that I don't share with them. So that was really important for me to make sure that everything I got, they also got.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you say you do community service and things, and so I know you ladies took a trip a while back.
Yeah.
Got a lot of feedback from that trip. You know, I
Yeah.
know we said it was some good, some bad, but you know, we're not gonna
Yeah.
talk about bad right now. But
You know,
I know
it
you
happens though,
guys
right?
almost went viral with one of the pictures
Yes.
you took. So can
Yes.
you describe that picture to the audience?
Yeah. The picture was absolutely fire, for lack of better words. Everything that went into that day, oh, it was a lot that went into that photo shoot. And the ladies know from the background, it didn't look like what it was supposed to be, but it turned out to be perfect for me. The ladies were basically, we were all dressed in black, and every lady had some type of firearm, some type of pistol. There were handguns, there were rifles, there were shotguns, they were everywhere. And there were things that people didn't think we should own.
Right.
But we did, and they belonged to the ladies who came and took pictures with us. Now we also did another meet and greet with some other ladies from South Florida, and
Okay.
they have a gun club there near Miami called Girls with Guns, and they
Okay.
were also participating with us at the time. But that photo went viral really, really quickly.
Yeah.
I saw it on a lot of different platforms on social media.
Yeah.
Um, it went fast. I honestly was not expecting that to occur.
And
I
honestly,
just thought
that's how I
somebody would
saw it. I
like it.
saw it on a social media platform, and then I was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, I
That's
know her,
me.
her." I was like, "Wow, what's this about?" And then,
Yes.
you know, like I said, you know, you read some of the article. So,
Yeah.
what was the most negative thing that you got, you know,
Okay.
that you got from
Um,
that picture?
so I think the most negative thing was probably men insinuating that we were single and aggressive. There
Mm,
were a lot of comments from men saying, "Why do y'all need to do this? Y'all must don't have husbands," and and I'm like, "Though that's not the case. That's not true." But what's wrong with us wanting to protect ourselves? Men are not with us 24 hours a day. We don't
exactly.
have a bodyguard and somebody there to protect us all the time. So that was probably the most negative set of responses to the picture, with just men not understanding why we wanted to be a part of the 2A community and carry, firearms. And why did we even take that picture? Was it really necessary? And we got a lot of criticism about how some of the ladies were holding the guns, and
Hmm.
it was just a lot of stuff. And it wasn't anything wrong with the picture.
Right. No, no, not at all.
No,
It
the
was,
ladies looked amazing. The
yeah, it was
the
very empowering, you know,
It
to a
was
lot of
very
people.
empowering, but
Yeah.
everybody doesn't handle that the same way. So we kind of had to sit back and realize, if there were no comments, then there would have been a problem. So we'll take all
Exactly.
the comments. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take them all.
And,
Absolutely.
and that's the thing with anything that you do, you're gonna have to take the good with the bad. You know, it's
Absolutely.
always instances where, you know, you're gonna enlighten some people, and then some people feel like they're already enlightened, and you're pulling a dull on their light.
Yes.
So
You're absolutely right. You're right. You're
so
right.
sometimes
You're
that's the main problem. You know, people just
right.
they want to be a part of stuff and they don't know how to be a part of stuff. So then they
Yeah.
want to
Criticize.
downplay what you're doing, you know.
Yeah,
So
they do. We get a lot of that.
keep doing it, keep doing it.
We do.
So so tell I just want to, and then we're going to continue the interview, but I want you to
Sure.
tell people how to reach you and where they could go
Sure.
visit your website and see some of your
Sure.
things that you guys are actually doing. And you actually
Absolutely.
have something coming up within the next week or two, right?
Yes. So we have and I try to do it at least twice a month. But we do concealed carry classes, and I teach them myself. So all the classes are taught by me. But we're doing a concealed carry, and it's for men and women. I get a lot of questions because this is a female organization. I get a lot of questions about, are males invited to take these classes? And males are definitely invited to take these classes with me. We don't have a preference for anybody that wants to come out and learn. So that's an event that's going to be coming up. We also, every third weekend of the month, our ladies do an event or participate in an event that we open up to other people who would like to participate with us.
Okay.
We've done Charlotte events. The ladies were in Charlotte in last September, and we did some other type of defensive techniques and strategies. But I teach concealed carry. I teach basic handgun. I get a lot of people to ask me, how do I prepare for a concealed carry class? I do individual training for anybody. It doesn't have to be male or female, doesn't matter. But all of the classes that I teach are open to the public.
Okay.
But we definitely I try to do them at least twice a month. So we'll keep it at twice a month. But I hop around to cities too. So it's not just Raleigh. I teach in a lot of different places, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, wherever. I teach classes in all those places. And if ladies want to get involved or ladies want to reach out to me, you can tag me on my social media. We're on Instagram as sassy.shooters.nc, and that's sassy with an I, sassy.shooters.nc. Our website is sassishootersnc.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, and it's Sisters Aiming for Safety and Security Initiatives. You can just type in Sassy Female Gun Club, and we'll pop up there as well. So we have a lot of different platforms that we are working from. But if you're ever interested and just want to see what we're about, we have a commercial on our website that shows exactly what we do. And there's some training techniques and things like that that we put on our website for other people to see what we do when we're out.
Cool. That's awesome. Do you have like a mailing list or newsletter you put out?
So if you go to the website, SassyShootersNC.com, there is a subscribe button, and you can subscribe to our page, and then we send out information on a monthly basis about any activities that we have going on or any information that you want from us. And that's another way for people to kind of message me for any questions that they might have about any different types of events that we have going on.
Cool. So quick question. What's the youngest female to attend one of your events?
Yeah. We did an event at Caliber's in Greensboro, and the little lady that I trained was only 12 years old.
Wow.
So I have them at 12, and then I have a member who's all the way up in her 80s. So
get out of here.
Yes, and
Oh,
she
man.
tries. But I also train teenagers too. One of the things I tell parents is, if you're going to allow your child to be trained, of course you have to be present if they're a minor.
Right.
But I really focus on those who are not video gamers, and I'll tell you why. Especially if they're playing some of the more aggressive video games. I just think that's where they are. They're in the video game mode.
Right.
So I don't like to train them completely unless the parent has given me consent that, they're not on video games 24/7 and it's okay to train my child. I just want to make sure that we're training them appropriately, but giving them the knowledge they need to defend themselves and not what we're thinking about video games. I mean, and I trained my son. I started training my son when he was 6 years old with shooting firearms as well, just so he lives in a house with a lot of firearms.
Right.
And I need my son to know and kind of kill the curiosity. And that's why I tell parents too, if you have a young child and you have firearms in your home, it's very important for you to try to kill the curiosity so your children are not wondering what you're hiding from them in the top of the closet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I'm glad you do take that extra step and say, hey, if they're in the video game space, it's like, how do you monitor them, and
that's right.
how are they in that world? Because like you said, you don't want it to translate to something, more.
I want my name on that one.
Realistic. And like I said, I'm not going to go there, today. That's a whole nother show.
It is. You're absolutely right. It is, but
that's
it is
a whole
important.
Nother show. But like
it's
you
very
said,
important though to make sure they understand.
Yeah, and I think that was I'm military. I was laughing you talking about your father, and that was the first thing they taught us when they gave us the M16. It was like they showed us the safety of it, and they showed you what type of harm it could do. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it was like you know, is it's nothing that could hurt you if trained and used properly. Now, it's used
Exactly.
for defense of yourself and others,
That's
but it's
right.
not going to hurt you if you use it properly. And I think
That's right.
that's
That's
very
right.
important.
That's right. People kill
So
people.
pushing
Guns don't
forward
kill people.
with your event that's coming up, the concealed weapons class.
Yes.
Now, for individual that's coming to your class,
Mhm.
what things, especially for the state of North Carolina,
Yeah.
what would you need to have to attend your class,
Right.
for North
So you
Carolina?
have to be absolutely. So for North Carolina, you have to be at least 21 years old. We talk a lot in the class about North Carolina laws that would keep you from being able to obtain a concealed carry permit. I would check, and I would actually tell people to go directly to your criminal justice department or Department of Justice for
Mhm.
any information that you might have about charges that you have obtained, because as a felon, you cannot possess a firearm.
Right.
So you have to be mindful of any charges that you have and things that would keep you. But in the concealed carry class, we go through all of the North Carolina state laws about who can and who cannot carry. But the biggest thing right now is being 21 years of age and not a felon.
Gotcha.
And that's what I focus on. But in the classroom, I do not ask your personal charges or anything of that nature. So I tell people to go to the Department of Justice website before you take a concealed carry class and find out if there's anything that would keep you from being able to obtain a concealed carry permit. But 21 years of age is what I'm looking for, as well as being a U.S. citizen and can prove that you are a U.S. citizen.
Got you.
Yep.
So I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it a little bit for the
Sure.
people that might not understand
Sure.
concealed and carry. So North Carolina is an open carry state, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So some people are like, well, why do I need a conceal and carry license if we're an open carry state? What is your rebuttal to that statement?
Yeah. First and foremost, it's the negative connotation that open carry comes along with. The first thing I think about when I see somebody open carry is I slide them my personal card. For one, and let's just be honest, African Americans, we get a negative look when it comes to firearms and pistols.
Right.
Other communities don't go through that because they already have previous experience with hunting and recreation, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of African American people don't have that. But first and foremost is the negative connotation that comes with open carry in North Carolina. I mean, it's okay to do it, and it's not against the law, but it just gives a vibe. Even myself, like even when I go to the grocery store after a training class, and I'm carrying, open carrying, I get so many eyes. And I don't know if
Right.
it's because I'm a woman or what, but I just feel like it's because I have that gun on my hip and people know that I could potentially cause harm to them
Mm-hmm.
or danger to them. So I tell people all the time, it doesn't need to be seen. It's not something that you have to proudly just carry around. And you be proud about it that you can carry it, but it's
Right.
not something that everybody has to know you have. And that's
Exactly.
why I like the conceal option more so than the just open carry option. But North Carolina is reciprocity to just about every other state in the US, where you can come from anywhere and open carry in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have a lot of rules for open carry.
Yeah, and
Um,
a lot of people, they don't understand that,
mhm.
they, and then and then the gun permit thing, they're
Yeah,
like, that's for purchase, it's
that's for
like,
purchase only. That
yeah,
has
and
nothing to do with
people
carrying.
just feel like,
Yeah.
well, in order for me to have a gun, I need a gun permit, and
Mhm.
it's like, no, no,
Not in North
but like
Carolina.
I
No.
said, but we're unfortunately, just speaking to our brown brothers and sisters,
Yes.
sometimes we're not educated, and we have these look, we in the military we call them shithouse lawyers, where
That's right.
they basically know everything but don't know anything. They just
Yeah.
they just going by hearsay, but they don't understand the law.
That's
And
right.
yeah, so I'm glad as people out here like yourself educate individuals
Yeah.
to learn and be more aware of what
Yeah.
they're facing when they do carry a
Yeah.
weapon. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because
I encourage people all the
I hear
time.
that a lot, like why
Yeah.
do I need to, if I could open carry, and like you said, I'm like this. I'm like, if if I if I'm facing you, if you know what I got, you know how to attack me.
You know how to
You
attack
know how to
me.
come at me. But if you
Yeah.
don't know what I have,
You don't know what I got,
you
right? You
might
don't
be
know
for a
how I can
long
hurt
day.
you. Yes, a very long day. And in my book is a very long life.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of the things that I tell people too. If you think about it, in North Carolina, in order to carry conceal, you have to go through that class.
Right.
So what is that telling to people who are concealed carry? It's saying that you have been formally trained. You've been trained. And everybody who open carries does not have to be trained. You don't know if they can shoot or not, So I look at it as a training way. It puts you above the regular citizen if you have the concealed carry, because you're trained in an area. You have a competency in an area, and you're not just out here carrying a firearm. I remember going to a restaurant, and there was a gentleman in the restaurant, and he was open carrying. No problem. The problem I had was he also had a baby on his hip on the same side as the gun. Now, sir, someone is coming to attack you. What, you gonna drop the baby? Right. That's lack of training and lack of knowledge, did not know. And of course I didn't say anything to him. Right. Did my business card over there. But that shows me a lack of training. And a lot of times when I see people open carrying, it just shows me that you're not properly trained. It kind of gives me a notion that you're not properly trained, because most people who want to carry concealed have went through this class and they are carrying concealed. But it just looks like lack of training when you open carry.
Cool. Yeah. I appreciate your knowledge and sharing that with, individuals out here.
Sure.
Because a lot of times, we go what cousin Johnny say, what sister Lou say, and then we end up getting a jam, and then we like, well, nah, they don't want to hear that in the court of law.
Don't want to hear that in the courthouse.
Hear what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. But just knowledge and knowing. Yeah, just know. Cool.
Now, what other type of, I know you mentioned, you was in the education realm. What other type of businesses did you have?
Sure. So I used to own Bougie Popcorn Boutique. Now I went from popcorn to guns real quick. But that was my first baby and my first business. And I still reach back out to it and help other people as far as like consulting other popcorn companies in the area and helping them to kind of get their start and their businesses up. But one of the things that kind of triggered that for me was when COVID came around. They were closing businesses down and people were not coming out, and it just made sense, to just kind of temporarily let it go. And that's what I say. I just temporarily just kind of let it go for just a second. And we plan to go back into it once we're over this whole, I don't know if we'll ever be over COVID, but once we're in a safer place.
Once the numbers are
in a safer place. Yeah, I don't know, but it was one of those decisions that I had to make. And it was like, do you spend your life savings on keeping this open, or do you close it because nobody's coming right now? And that's what was happening. Nobody was coming. It was just a smart business decision. But it led into guns, so I accepted it. Right. Yeah.
That's cool. So how was I know you said you had a son, husband. You have any other kids?
No, it's just us. I just have an 8-year-old. He's enough. He's enough. Yeah.
I'm sure.
I just have an 8-year-old.
So how does he feel in your husband? When the boys come over, do they be like, yo, man, I gotta watch what I say around your wife because she might do they? How do they react knowing that you're so skilled?
No. Yeah.
And look, when y'all was dating, did you tell him that you could hurt him real quick if he mess up?
No.
Is that how you intimidated?
I relied on my dad to do that. I said my dad would take care of that for me, so I didn't have to say anything. No, I said, no, my dad is gonna do that for me. I ain't got to shoot you. But when the boys come around, they have questions.
Okay.
They ask. A lot of them have already taken either classes with me or asked me questions about what they should and should not purchase. Now I don't charge them my consultation fee because they're in my house, but a lot of the times they will ask me, sis, what you got? What can I get? And we just, kind of share stories about things they may want to purchase. And then they want me to go and get my stuff so they can see, like, what is this for? But no, they are not intimidated by me because they know me as a person, I think.
That's cool.
But
I'm glad it's working out. Because like you said, some of the guys might be like, man, I ain't come to see her, man. She might
crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah, she might be a little crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one more time, go ahead and give your website and how people can reach you. And
yeah, absolutely. So I'm founded.
Event. And
Yeah, we're located right here in Raleigh, but we have chapters in Greenville, North Carolina. So we have an Eastern North Carolina chapter for East people. We have the RDU chapter, which is pretty much Raleigh, Durham, the Triangle area. We just recently started our Triad chapter, and right now we have Reedsville members. And we are formulating our Charlotte chapter. So we're going to merge Union County and Mecklenburg counties together. But you can follow us on social media. Instagram, we're at sassy with an i.shooters.nc. Our web address is sassishootersnc.com. And you can also use the same thing to follow us on Facebook, Sisters Aiming for Safety and Security Initiatives, or you can just do Sassi Shooters Female Gun Club. And we're right here in Raleigh. We are so open to having so many more ladies come out and join us. Like I said, we have our event, or we have our next class on the 13th, which is going to be held here in Raleigh. If you want a class and you want to host a class, I will come to you and help you host your class. We ask that you have between 8 and 10 people and a location, and everything else I can figure out for you. We also, like I said, third weekend of every month, we have our Sassy event. You are more than welcome to come out to our events. We will post them on social media, or you can email me at sassyshooters@gmail.com, and I can send you information about any event that we have. But everybody is open to come out. I know it says minority female gun club, and that's what it is. The rostered members are minority females, but everybody is able to come out and participate. I train everybody. I don't have a group of people that I work with more than anybody else.
Right.
I train everybody, and any event that I'm having, anybody and everybody is welcome to attend.
Awesome.
Yes.
All
Watch out
right.
for us in June. In June, we're having a Sassy conference.
Okay.
June is going to be our Sassy conference, and it's going to be the first in June. So we're going to have our first annual Sassy conference in June, where we're going to have vendors, and we're going to have food, and we're going to have guest speakers and panels about safety awareness, mental health, substance abuse. We're going to have a bunch of stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, please get prepared for our June event, and I'll start broadcasting it really, really soon. So go ahead and save the date for the first weekend in June for our first annual Sassy conference.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring you back before that happens, and we'll have to talk about it.
Please do.
All right. So before you go, I always do this to all my guests. It's an on the spot type situation, and you have a education background and you have a weapons background. All these different genres built into one umbrella. Now, if it's a young lady out here that's about to embark on a small business or embark in something that she's unsure of, but she has a passion about, like yourself, what words would you give her to encourage her to continue with her passion?
Do it. I tell people all the time, it's 2 little simple words. Do it. What happens if you fail? You get back up and you just try something else. Or I tell ladies all the time, your limit is the limit that you put on yourself. I don't put limits on myself. I think sometimes I might be crazy with some of the ideas that I come up with, but don't limit yourself. Like, go ahead and do it. If it fails and it didn't work, maybe you didn't do something right, but you will never know if it's going to fail until you try. So just do it. Do it.
Gotcha. Cool. I appreciate you. Hey, great talking to you. This has been awesome.
Absolutely.
Look, I've been sharing your stuff. We've been, talking here and there.
Yeah.
And like I said, keep up the great work. And I appreciate you coming out, sharing your knowledge this evening. And like I said, looking forward to connecting with you. I probably need some refresher courses myself. So, so I'm definitely gonna be reaching out to you. Look, these fingers, they getting kind of cricket, so I need a refresher.
I got something for that too. Come on, we can work it out.
Yeah, got you. But anyway, thank you for until next time, people. This is your boy, the Real Charlemagne, Brick City. Don't forget to follow me on all platforms. Till next time, see you then.